Good morning, it's Saturday the 4th of April and it's the day before my 59th birthday. I'm here at the Maldon Parkrun in Essex. Last time I was at Chalkwell a month ago. I did another one in between at Chalkwell, but the recording didn't really work out. I forgot to press a button on the run, or got confused about it, more to the point, but here we are today. Maldon is a slightly slower course than the Chalkwell course. I reckon about 30 seconds slower. So last time out I got 19 minutes 10 at Chalkwell, and the time before that 20 minutes 20. So I have made some progress already, but not sure whether I can exceed 19:10 today, but we'll see. I'll probably run more for a place. There's about 400 runners here normally, and I reckon a top 10 to 15 is probably on the cards if I have a good run. I didn't sleep particularly well, but we'll see how it goes. You never know until you start running. So I've been taking the creatine for the last month, so I'm not sure if that's going to have any effect. I have put on weight instead of losing weight, so that's still an issue. So it's whether the strength and stamina benefits outweigh the weight costs. We'll see. I'll probably have to go back to Chalkwell to compare my times for that, but yeah, I've left it a little bit late today, so not much time for a warm-up, but we'll try and get one done and change into the Nike Street Flies and see how we go. Okay, see you soon, bye. So just warming up at the moment. Conditions are reasonable. I think the wind's about 9 miles per hour, so a light breeze. Can't feel it too much at the moment, but nearer to the water you normally feel it. So we're on our way now, and quite a fast start to the Maldon Park run today. I got caught out slightly talking to my friend on the start line. We were just actually saying to each other that it's bound to start without us, and it did, so we lost a couple of seconds already. But yeah, I've sort of settled down at 3 minutes 20-ish per kilometre pace at the moment. Always going a little bit too fast in the beginning. I tried not to surge right to the front because you tend to pay for it later on. And yeah, I feel reasonably okay. I was a little bit worried in warm-up that my legs were a bit heavy, I hadn't slept right, and just generally not feeling it. But once I got going, I didn't feel too bad. Not amazing, but not too bad. So the Maldon Parkrun course is slower than the last parkrun that I did, generally speaking. As you can see, some of it's on grass and it goes through the woods. In the winter time it can get a bit muddy in the woods, but it's nice and dry today, so that's something. In terms of the wind, there was a light to moderate breeze, maybe 10 miles an hour, I seem to remember on the weather forecast. So it didn't really hinder me too much, but it was definitely a little factor, so you know, it might have slowed us down a little bit, but it's the same for everybody else. You can see the front runners are pulling away a little bit, really. So as I haven't done this course for about a year, the muscle memory is not as good as it was, so I decided just to run in my comfort zone at this point. And my heart rate, as you can see, is about 141 beats per minute, which is reasonably comfortable for me, more like a tempo pace. And I thought maybe I'll just sort of stick around this sort of pace for the first lap and see if I've got anything left for the second lap. But yeah, I did feel reasonably comfortable at this stage and for most of the first lap. So just overtaking that young runner, slotting behind the runner in front. The Maldon Parkrun course has a lot more twists and turns than the Chalkwell Parkrun that I did last time. The Chalkwell Parkrun is a much faster course on the seafront, up and down, with only one turn. On the other hand, on the flip side, the Maldon Parkrun is more interesting in a way because it keeps your mind off things by having to concentrate on the next turn or the slight change in terrain, you know, when you go into the woods, that sort of thing, and yeah, it keeps your mind off it. So in that way I prefer the Maldon Parkrun, but because of the twists and turns and a couple of undulations, nothing too major at all, it does slow you down a little bit. And then as you head on to by the waterside, the wind will pick up a little bit. It's always a little bit noticeable when you get there. So we're just heading into the woods here. Nice and dry today. In the winter this part can get quite slippery, but apart from a few roots and a few rutty bits here and there, it wasn't too bad. But it does slow you down a little bit through the wood section at the best of times. And well, I've slowed down to nearly, just under 4 minutes per kilometre pace, 3:54, 55, that sort of thing. So sub 20 pace at this stage. I didn't really pay any attention to my pace throughout the parkrun. I purely went by feel today. And what I mean by that is, in terms of your perceived effort and your heart rate, I just sort of, left myself in my comfort zone. And like I say, for the first lap, that's how I wanted it. And then maybe next time when I visit Maldon, I'll give it a bit more of a full send and push my luck a little bit. Sometimes you overcook it when you give it a full send, but sometimes you have to just go for it. But today wasn't that day. So another guy overtook me at this point, so I decided to let him go, I think, and quite a few people seem to overtake me on the first lap, although I think I sort of caught a few of them back up again. But yeah, we're going at a nice pace. Well, actually, it's over 4 minute pace now, not so nice. So it just shows you that wooded section is much slower than you'd like it, because my overall average was about 3 minute 50 pace, and now I'm doing 4 minute 12 pace, so I seriously slowed down at this point. That's probably why this young lad overtook me. Although now I've hit the tarmac again, I seem to have sped up a little bit. So we're going up to the statue at the end of the prom, which is well known in Maldon, and we turn around just before the statue and then head back on ourselves. And at some point you start to see the other runners who are behind you, which I quite enjoy, because it's sometimes when you're in the first 10 or so, there aren't that many runners to focus on, so it's nice to see the faces of the other runners later on. So here we go, turning around. I'm not sure if I perfected the super fast turn yet, but I think I turned around quite smoothly on this occasion. So yeah, you can see the other runners coming up towards us, and I think there was a field of 465 today, and that's probably a little bit bigger than the average of around 400. Perhaps it's because it's Easter time. And you get the magnificent view of Maldon by the waterside. Yeah, so it's a lovely parkrun actually. I would recommend it. It's quite scenic. It might not be the absolute fastest course, but it's certainly not the slowest course. You can still get a reasonably fast time here. And usually you get people exceeding sub 18 minutes. The first runners in normally. My own personal best here is 18:32, which I did a couple of years ago. So when I think I was about 57 at the time. So I have slowed down a little bit since then, and if I can get back into the 18s this year, I'll be more than pleased with that. Anything 18 at any parkrun will, yeah, but that's definitely where I'd like to get to. So there's another younger man overtaking me here. I think he's in the 35-year-old age range when I check the results later. But he's running along quite nicely, and I think I tucked in behind this guy for quite a long period of time. He seemed to be going at a similar pace, and I thought it'd be good to latch on to somebody to pull me around the course. And I'm sure I stayed with him for a whole other lap, and then we'll have to wait and see as to whether I managed to overtake him or not. So this young man is coming back to me at the moment. Lots of spectators out today, which is nice as well. It's nice to get a few cheers as you go around. Again, at Maldon, because it's a lapped course, you do tend to get a few more spectators who can see you better, because at Chalkwell, because you're leaving the start by 2.5 kilometres, you tend to leave everybody else behind, so you only really see the other spectators when you get back in, really. So yeah, here we go. One of the things I mentioned in my warm-up was that I've been taking creatine for the last month, and it's taken me a good couple of years to decide to actually start taking this stuff. And I do go to Pure Gym to do some weight sessions as well. I recommend that for any runner, or anybody for that matter. You know, it's good to do some strength training, but I do find it helps my running. And most of the weightlifters, serious weightlifters that I know, do take creatine, and they do say it benefits them from a weightlifting point of view. But the jury was out as to whether it helps you from a runner's point of view. And so far, after a month, it's still early days to say categorically whether it's a full benefit. After a month, I've put on a couple of kilos of water weight, possibly a tiny little bit of muscle, but mainly water weight, because the creatine retains the water in your muscles. And that doesn't sound too good as a runner, because it makes you heavier, but at the same time it does make you stronger in your training. You can push out a few more reps, and from a running point of view, if you're doing your intervals, you can do them that much more comfortably, or do an extra rep or two. That's what I've been finding. So you can actually train harder and for a little bit longer perhaps, which has started to benefit me, and also aid your recovery. So I've been recovering a little bit quicker. It's not like totally transformational that you've noticed it overnight, but when you start comparing your runs from previous runs, you will find for your faster efforts that you feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more explosive, and recover a little bit more quickly. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the results so far. So even though I've put on some weight, I've been able to feel a bit stronger overall, really. So it'd be interesting to see what happens after the next couple of months. So getting back to the park run, guy in blue, the young guy, I think he's about 35, although he looked younger to me. He overtook me as well, and although I've just overtaken him back. And I think, like I was saying before, it started to tuck in with this guy in the red. He seemed like he was going quite well, and obviously younger than me, so I thought, well, he's probably got more chance of pulling me through than anybody else at this point. There isn't anybody ahead of him that I could really latch onto that easily. It would take quite an effort to catch the next person up, but I don't think you can barely see the next runner. Although I think at the end of the race, the runner before me was about 12 seconds ahead, but I can't really see them at this point. A little bit congested here. Obviously there are people who walk the park run, and some people are out just for a walk anyway with their dogs or whatever. So yeah, but I think there's space for everybody, and to enjoy the park. So I don't think anybody's complaining from any direction really. So yeah, so it's April, and the trees are just greening up a little bit, and I was just pleased it was a nice day, because I'd followed the weather throughout the week, and the wind was meant to be a little bit blustier than it actually was on the day, so it turned out to be reasonable. Not perfect conditions, but reasonable. And you can see on the stats that I've finally managed to overlay onto this video. First time I've ever done it. The inclination is 0 degrees, so it's nice and flat, which is always good when you're doing a parkrun. When I did hit the undulations, you will see one in a little bit later, they do tend to slow you down quite a bit, so I'm thinking of doing the Colchester parkrun soon, but I read the description is quite undulating, so I'm sure that'll be a slower course. So we got another guy again, I think was in the 35-year-old age bracket, and so I've got two runners ahead of me now, and but I'm maintaining my distance, very close proximity to them, and keep telling myself not to let them get too far ahead. So this is the second lap now, so the second time we're actually on the prom itself, with the waterside views, heading back up to the statue. It's a 2-lap park run, this course, and yeah, feeling reasonably good still. For the second, third and fourth kilometre, I think I averaged around 3 minutes 55, although I was a lot faster on the first kilometre and the final kilometre. So yeah, so these, as you can see there, the turns do slow you down a little bit there, but nothing too drastic. And by this point you kind of know that you're in the final sort of, I don't know if it's the final kilometre, 200 metres, looking at the stats there. So, but I was blissfully unaware of that, so I tend not to check my watch at all. But just by having done the course before, you know that it's not that far to go, just over a kilometre left. So that gives you some renewed impetus to push ahead. And I know at the end of this stretch, it's definitely that feeling where you think, right, I better get ready for any sprint finish if there is one. And my speed here is 16 kilometres an hour, so that's not bad for me, to be honest. I would like to get it. I think the fastest parkrun I've ever done was 16.7 kilometres an hour at Chalkwell, and I just feel like I'm sure I could get it up to 17 with the right kind of consistent training. And consistency is the key, because when the summer comes around I tend to do all sorts of other things like bike riding, bike touring, holidays, hiking, you name it, and my training does suffer quite a lot, where I take weeks, if not months out to do other things. So at this point in the calendar my fitness is building up quite nicely, and I think after this run my VO2 max went up to 57 at the age of 59. That's quite reasonable, I think. Puts me in the top 1%. So sounds good being in the top 1% for my age, but my maximum heart rate is only about 162 maybe. It's hard to know to be 100% precise, but some of these younger guys will have a max heart rate of about 200, so they've got that much more extra capacity. And I think that's the main difference between me and them, age-wise. My legs feel strong enough, but my heart, my cardiovascular system is in decline due to age. So you just have to accept it, really. It's not a lot you can do. But the good thing about parkrun is you can run for an age place, your age category place, and I often win the age category, although I didn't today. There was the guy in front of me, you won't see him until towards the end. He actually beat me by, I think, about 12 seconds, something like that. and although I did beat him on age grade, so he's still a little bit younger than me, so you know, not that I'm competitive or anything, but yeah. So yeah, this is, like I was saying, not long to go now. We need to just go down this section here and then turn around the corner on the steep little undulation, and then it's the final stretch home. So I decided to overtake those two guys, and I picked up the pace to 3:35, 3:40 pace, although it's going slightly uphill here, so 3:34 pace. Yeah, so I've definitely started to pick it up here, knowing that there's only about 300 metres to go. And then this is the little hill here which always stops you in your tracks, which is really annoying. And at this point I was just worrying that those guys behind me would be breathing down my neck, and because they're younger than me, I thought they would be catching me up, or at least trying to give me a run for my money. So this is the final stretch. You can see the yellow arrow asking me to stay to the left, so I'm staying to the left here. We're now doing 3:28 pace per kilometre, 3:25's picking up, and it should go all the way down to 3 kilometre pace, more or less, which tends to be my maximum sprinting speed at the end of a 5k, about 20 kilometres an hour. I wish I could maintain that all the way around. No, I'd be getting the parkrun record for my age, but here we go, and we're in.
Well done, mate.
Oh, I can't catch you.
Oh my god, heart attack.
That's a new CP.
Oh, well done.
Sorry, mate.
That's that one. That's right.
Thank you.
You alright?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, not bad. You're the pure gym guy, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain was like, I know him from somewhere. I know him. How'd you get on?
20:30.
Well done. Is that good for you? Or?
It is at the moment because I've been doing all the strength stuff.
Oh, I could tell. Oh, it is high rocks you're doing, yeah.
How are you doing, right?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, excellent. Okay, a bit of post parkrun feedback. I got a time, according to my Garmin, 90 minutes 13, which surprised me because I didn't feel like I pushed myself to the absolute limit, because I didn't feel that good, to be honest. Didn't warm up that well. 19:13 for this course for me is quite good. 3 seconds slower than Chalkwell 2 weeks ago, but it is a slower course. I'm pretty sure it's about 30 seconds slower, so it's probably technically an improvement for me, and hopefully an age grade of about 82%. So I'm really happy with that, to be honest, in the circumstances. So hopefully I'm approaching 18 minutes on a faster course like at Chalkwell. Yeah, the conditions weren't too bad. It was a little bit breezy, not perfect but not too bad, and I got caught up in the pack a little bit, so that sort of pushed me along to try and keep up with some of the other runners, which I quite enjoyed, to be honest, because sometimes when you're on your own it's hard to keep the pace going, but I tried to hang on in there with some of the younger runners, and it kind of paid off, and I managed to do a little sprint at the end successfully. I think nobody overtook me, so there were 3 or 4 people towards the end, and managed to keep them at bay, so pleased with that. So yeah, I'll crack on and keep up the training. The creatine, I think, is working. It's hard to say for sure. It might just be a placebo effect, but yeah, I felt reasonably strong, even though I didn't feel that great at the beginning. But yeah, so all in all, a good run, and see you at the next one. Bye for now. Bye.